Station, everybody. I'm Stefan,
I'm Brandon.
and welcome back to Comics King. This is Crisis on Infinite Rants, part of the Whiplash Wednesday Backlog Bro PCP Army Bad Batch. What is a backlog, bro? We
I don't
don't know.
know.
We'll
No one
figure it out
knows.
one day. But today we got a special treat for you guys. Me and Brando have decided to comprise our own Justice League team, and
Hell yeah.
after we're going to go by the rule of 7 because we know that's Justice League Magic's number, and at the end of that we're going to try to come up with a story that we can pitch to DC using our assembled team.
All off the cuff, you guys. This is coming at you bright and early on your Wednesday, 4 p.m., 4:15, depending on what time you wake up, because some people like to sleep in on Wednesdays or you're at work, So station to everybody. Make sure you guys check out all the videos that we dropped today, part of the PCP Army Bad Batch, starting off at 11 o'clock. We had Nick Comic Culture with his LCS video promoting them. Good work today, Nick, as always. And then we had chatting with the comic book community with Travis. That's going to be a great video, as always. Station to you, Travis. And now we're here, 4:15 Eastern time. We are going to be working together. I don't even know who he's picking. We're doing our Justice League teams, so you guys are going to get a firsthand experience of this. Got the Shazam shirt. And then we have, then we go over to Nick
Prince
again
Comics.
right after this. There you go, man. Then we go over to Nick again for see what he picked up this week after he promoted his LCS. Then we actually get to see all the goodies he got, And then we got Big Herm and Sam Singleweb, one of the best team ups on YouTube.
If not the best, yeah.
If not the
we're
best.
just talking about us, beyond us, but
yeah, are we?
Put that in there.
We're getting there. and then we cap things off with the What Are You Reading show. This the Tomorrow show. No, not the What Are You Reading. It's What Are You Making? What Are You Reading? Last week.
Yes.
We got we got What Are You Watching? It's What Are You Watching?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's hosted by, you guys know him, Island Boy Manuel, and of course the panel of the comic book community to cap off the night in true PCP Army Bad Batch. Stick along for the journey. But for now, you're stuck with us. If you have a favorite Justice League character or writer, drop it down in the premiere. If you guys are here for the premiere, big shout out to you guys. If you're here from the rewind, even bigger shout out to you guys. Make sure you guys leave a comment below. How did we draft? Would you draft differently? Let us know. Link, who would be your first person? Who's the first person for our team?
I feel like I should just throw a little curveball. I'd like to see Booster Gold given Justice League status.
Okay, so if we're going Booster Gold, then I have to go with, you leave me no choice, but I got to go with Blue Beetle.
Ooh, I like that. That ties into, of course. But I was gonna say, we were asking a question back screen before we launched. One of the questions was, could a Justice League team do without Batman? Would they be successful? I think you've just proven that. You've got your detective right there, the detective for the team, Ted Kord, and he's an inventor.
Right.
So
now, I think this is one of my biggest hot takes, and when you really analyze a Justice League book, it's never really Batman driven as the sole leader.
Right.
So I think Batman a lot of times is hidden in Justice League because you need that person who's always prepared for stuff, and it just makes sense that Batman's there.
Yep.
He's their fail-safe in sales and in the story. Whenever you need to really pull something out of your butt, it's gonna be Batman.
Absolutely.
I feel like when Darkseid War was coming to a conclusion, they didn't really have anywhere else to go, so they said, let's put him in the Mobius chair and see 3 Jokers. And so I don't know.
And we saw how that played out. I feel like it could, but would they want to take that risk?
Would DC as an industry want to have a Justice League book without Batman? I think when you compare it to Marvel, right, with Spider-Man, you've had a lot of Avenger stories without Spider-Man, right, or even without Cap sometimes. So that have still proven to be very successful.
Absolutely.
So I think we can take that risk.
Speaking on that, if people want someone Bat-related in family, someone I think who's more fit for the Justice League actually is my next pick, Nightwing, Dick Grayson.
Dick Grayson's going to be the leader. Nice.
Yeah.
With that, we have to have a Green Lantern, and if we are going to play off Nightwing, we're going to play off another character who kind of had their peak in the 90s. I'm going to go with Kyle Rayner, the best Green Lantern ever.
Oh, I like that.
Okay. Kyle Rayner.
Respect. Okay. I feel you need kind of like a someone who's just cool under pressure, kind of who's very tactical, be calm like Batman. I think someone who's on that level, but a very big powerhouse in himself, almost cooler than some of the default powerhouses like Superman, Martian Manhunter.
I was gonna pick Martian Manhunter. I wanted Martian. I was like, I hope he doesn't steal it. I'm like, 'cause I wanted Martian Manhunter. So far, God damn you, bro.
I'm sorry. John's one of my favorites, bro.
I know. Big shout out to Steve Orlando and Riley Rossmo for that. That book was just fantastic. Yeah. That book was fantastic. I'm not the biggest Riley Rossmo fan out there, but that was like one of the books that was so fitting to his style of work and what he has to provide. So we got Booster Gold, Blue Beetle, Nightwing, Kyle Rayner, Martian Manhunter.
Solid squad.
With my sixth pick, I'm gonna throw Wonder Woman in here. I think that her intelligence and her kind of concept on reality could be a very good fit for this team. You have Booster Gold in here, who can kind of be a little ridiculous. You have Blue Beetle. They kind of play off each other. They can get a little goofy, but they can have the task at hand. You have Nightwing, who's going to be kind of like your spokesperson of the group. Kyle Rayner is kind of, I would say, is more like your powerhouse, more like your energy. Martian Manhunter, obviously your leader and your fail-safe, but like we were talking about earlier, Wonder Woman is your combat person. She's Woman right there in the mix.
So for this is
number our last 7? Pick. This is number 7.
Now I always kind of like Hawk Girl, but Wonder Woman fills that warrior notch. What about Wally West? He's been there before, but it's like if they want to keep Barry off on the Justice Incarnate team, Wally West, I say he needs to get that push again. That'll give him instead of just being that other Flash that used to be Kid Flash. He's come back, but he's I don't know. I'm not a fan of the costume with the hair showing. I know it's a homage to his Kid Flash costume, but it also
dig it. I dig it.
Undermines him as the Flash. It's a cool design, and I get it for a kid, but a grown dude, what if someone grabs him he's a speedster? I get it.
But he kind of got his costume changed for the newer Flash run.
Did he?
Yeah, he does have it, but I liked it from
Still Flash exposing the hair?
No, his hair's covered. Which is it's a little weird. It's a little bit of an experience to get to. So what they're doing with Wally now is they just finished torturing him, retconning Heroes in Crisis, and now he's actually able to do his own thing. He just had a good family dynamic issue. I believe it was 777, 76. Someone in the chat will correct me, or I can look at my pile next to me when I see fit and correct it then and there. But yeah, Wally's a great pick. I think he is the better Flash. That's always who I look at as my Flash.
Yeah.
I know that I was reading during the time Barry was resurrected, but I tend to get into my Flash with the creators, and Mark Waid is one of my favorite creators, so that influenced my love for Wally West even more.
What I wanted to go back on, the reason I choose Booster Gold, I think people might think that's a joke pick, but the man is since I think the stereotype archetype is that he was a joke initially, but he's proven himself to be a true hero. Like, have you ever read the Dan Jurgens?
I have. I've read the Dan Jurgens from 87 and 88.
Okay.
And then I started reading some of the New 52, but that was like when I first started reading. It's been forever. It's been like 4 years since I read it. Yeah,
and he was not a character to be taken serious. Like, he didn't become a hero for the right reasons. It was just kind of for douchebag reasons, shallow reasons. But in that miniseries, there was an issue where, because him and Barbara had like a little thing at one point, and everyone knows about the Killing Joke, what happened to Barbara that led her to be an Oracle. He decided he was like going back in time trying to correct all these wrongs, and he was like, because he was working with Rip Hunter at the time, like he was like a time stream police. And he was like, I'm going to go back and save Barbara, bro. Who's more deserving than a second chance and not some scar and stuff like that than Barbara? And he kept getting, no matter, it was like time was set almost, no matter what he did, it was finding a way for Barbara to end up worse off. So it showed there was like panels and panels of him just going back to the same scenario, getting beat up in different ways, never come out on top because he wanted to, that's like a hero thing to me. I think he really proved himself in that run.
I think people really oversee Booster Gold's vision kind of, and how he's able to see stuff. Because, like, yeah, obviously someone who can time travel, who can go back to the future, back to the past, kind of like Kid Commandy almost, or like Dr. Fate. You kind of see their vision, but with Boosters, like, his comedy's always been put before him. But he has very good outlook, and he's very like, he's that tunnel vision. Like, when he set his mind on something, he's there. I don't know if you guys are reading the Blue and Gold series right now that Dan Jurgens and Ryan Sook are doing, but it's one of my favorite books out right now. It's super good. It's so good. And you do get that kind of dynamic between Booster Gold and Blue Beetle, where you have someone who's kind of like that vision, and then you have someone who's the execution, right? Booster Gold is that vision, Blue Beetle is that execution, and their relationship is literally one of the best in comic books. And if you, even if you're not a DC fan, I would just highly recommend just reading their series together.
Their relationship is kind of one of the best friends. People like Superman, Bruce, cool, but like true best friends, it's Booster and
it's a grown-up Super Sons.
It's a grown-up Super Sons. Best way,
that's the best way I can sum it up. Yeah. So Peter Tomasi, you're listening to this. Come back to DC and write that shit for us, please.
We need you.
We need you to do this shit, man. I would love to see what Peter Tomasi could do with them, though. I would love that.
Oh, he would do amazing things.
Nightwing's kind of an odd pick here, just because his age is so out of sync with this. But if you kind of
I feel like he's proven himself. Like, even old people are older than him. It's like, he was trained by the best. Like, since a young age. Like, even Batman had to teach himself. Bruce almost didn't have. I mean, Dick didn't have to go through the trials of trying to teach himself.
I'm thinking about it. Like, he was able to lead the Titans. He was a great leader on the Titans. And Dick Grayson has always been great in adversity.
Rallying,
I'm just thinking about his time as Batman with Damian and how he was kind of able to build that relationship. Dick Grayson is very good at being that respectable person in the locker room that everyone looks at.
I think Dick was the one who humanized Damian, who made Damian not so cold, who kind of started to get Damian to open up, was Dick, not Bruce. Bruce was away for a while, but that says a lot about someone like Dick, that he has a rapport with a lot of characters. Like, he's good at getting people to listen.
Right, and who is very humanized by Dick Grayson is Superboy, is John.
Absolutely.
Or not John, Connor. No,
Connor.
John. Sorry, John. John and Connor, both of them. You can even say both are Superboy characters in there. If you're reading the Tom Taylor run, it's John. If you're a fan of the Teen Titans, it's Connor.
I gotta get caught up in that. Sorry, Mr.
No, it's okay. He's a big fan. And then, of course, Kyle Rayner being the Green Lantern of the group. I think you're not doing it justice by not having a Green Lantern in there. And I think that what DC currently is lacking on is their Green Lantern title. While it is breaking in, Jessica Cruz is getting her moments. JoJo for Far Sector, Joe Mulligan, I call her JoJo.
She's Future.
Yeah, she's doing her thing in there. Teen Lantern and Jon Stewart, but I don't really feel a connection with that team. Mostly because I don't know. I feel like Hal and Kyle were the ones that I really loved the most. You had Ron Mars with Kyle Rayner and also Grant Morrison in their JLA run, and then you had Jeff Johns later doing a lot of seminal work on Hal Jordan.
See, I have got a weird relationship with Hal. He's almost my least favorite Lantern, but I respect what Guy didn't start off like that, but Guy Tomasi, shout out to you. He made Guy really endearing to me. Like, with a lot of heart. He's kind of willing to be an asshole to get the job done. That's part of his. He's endearing. He does that on purpose, bro. Like, there's a lot more to Guy Gardner than people realize. But hell, he's kind of his half-cocked attitude. I get that's his part of his appeal, but he's always kind of running first, punch shit up, then we'll ask questions later. Sometimes he's a firecracker. I was more of when I came into comics, it was Kyle in the comics and Jon Stewart on cartoon.
Yeah, I think that's why a lot of people really like Jon Stewart, especially like today's comics, is because of the TV show. Yeah,
it had a big influence. And
shout out Phil Lamar.
Yeah, hell, he's a great voice actor, bro.
Oh, he's
just great and to train there. Jon Stewart, I think why Jon Stewart kind of works so well, they got a across that John is the clear thinker of all the lanterns. Like he sees his sights on something. Because I think they retconned it, or no, they retconned that he was in the military, but he was an architect first. He's very detailed in his constructions. He sees things, that the little details that other people, and they say I remember reading, they say John's constructs are the most sturdiest out of any lantern, right, because of stuff like that.
Well, also I feel like the rings of Oa just really try to mold around your personality a little bit.
True.
The reason why Hal is able to diversify himself into a bunch of other rings is because when Jeff Johns worked on him, he still was figuring himself out.
So true.
Origin.
Jeff coming back, yep.
And then he went through all the rings just to like kind of regain, and that's how he got to Emerald Dawn. That's how he was Kyle, when he got the ring, he was just a pure, like you said, he was a cannonball, kind of like a cannonball in New Mutants. He was like Sean.
Behind the ears.
That's why he got the power ring, is because that's what he was needed for, is to be that powerhouse to save Hal from Parallax. So,
and he was the only one. He was like they call him Torchbearer, of course, because he was the only lantern whenever, for the longest time, keeping this stuff going. But he's also the most creative. I think that works in his favor because he's an artist at heart.
Right. And that's why his suit was designed different, is because he wanted to separate himself from the other lanterns, kind of giving himself his own voice. Or at least that's what Ron Mars and Daryl Banks had in favor for him.
That design still is almost like it's something don't really need to change. Kyle Rayner's original look, I don't know. I just love that look. It's just,
you don't need to change it. That's a costume. It's like Doctor Strange in the Silver Age, until they decided to, hey, let's try to fuck him up in as many ways possible, and they started with the costume, and now they're doing it with like the death of Doctor Strange. You don't need to fucking kill the guy. Come on now. You just need to figure out how to use him. Right?
Yeah. They've always struggled with that.
And they kind of fall into like the Doctor Strange. The lanterns fall into that effect where if an editor or a publisher doesn't want to use them or doesn't feel a need to use them, they're just going to be gone until there's a cry. Until someone, like, you had the Green Lanterns book from Rebirth that Sam Humphries did. Great book. Robson Roca on RIP. But that book was fantastic. You got to learn. Even Jessica Cruz got her whole freaking arc in there. And then you had the Howl book, kind of like, okay, here's your mainstay Green Lantern. Here's what the other guys are up to because they're still relevant. That was one of the good things that Rebirth did following New 52, was it made characters relevant. And I've yet to see that from Infinite Frontier, that half the characters that they don't have in there. Like, where's Hawkman right now? Where the fuck's Hawkman? After coming off Kendra, that's it. After coming off the Robert Venditti series, which is probably the best work, probably better work than Jeff Johns did. I will run that any day, that Robert Venditti put a better run up than Jeff Johns did on Hawkman. Where is he now?
I might have to go. I started collecting that, but I stopped. I collected the first arc and dropped it because I hadn't read it.
Oh, good.
Okay, I'm gonna read it tonight then.
It was a great Hawkman centric story, and then it kind of turned into a team up with Adam and Strange Adventure was the name. Adam Strange,
Oh, the Adam Strange,
yeah. So it was like them two, right? And it was like, wow, this is awesome.
That sounds like I could read that.
And then it kind of ended being like, okay, this could turn into a JSA book, but we're going nowhere now. The art was fantastic, and I kind of championed that book because it was
Brian Hitch,
Brian Hitch did the first part, and then it was like Fernando Pastarian.
I love Pastarian.
Did the back art of that once. He did. Brian Hitch was only on for the first volume.
Did you read Emerald Warriors by?
Yeah,
he was
probably. And then it was Aaron Lopresti did some of the artwork.
Okay.
Yeah, who also did the Death of Hawkman back in the day. So that's the thing, is like when you're and Justice League is really a team. When we pick 7, of course other characters are going to come and go, but this is like going to be your main 7.
The course,
kind of just to recap our team before we get into who do we want to see writing it, who do we want to see drawing it, and our pitch for how this team could work together. By the way, quick shout out to coffee. The thing that keeps this comic community going and our wallets spending all the money we do. Cheers, clink. All right, so we got Booster Gold, we got Blue Beetle, Nightwing, Kyle Rayner, Wonder Woman, and Wally West. Kind of touching on what makes each character kind of set in our team. We kind of went over Wonder Woman and Wally at the jump, so we didn't really bring them back in. to this later portion that we went over. I do want to touch on Martian though. You know, every team needs a leader. Like you said, I think that Martian Manhunter gets overshadowed in Justice League books because of Batman. Because Batman takes up like 90% of his job. You know, I feel like I love Scott Snyder's run, but I feel like most of Martian Manhunter was just creating the telekinetic link between people.
Yeah, just so they could communicate. Yeah.
Until he got wrapped up by Lex Luthor. But even then, it was like the team really wasn't hurt, and I thought that was an injustice to the character.
Absolutely, he's central.
Yep, you look at Justice League Last Ride, his death broke up the team.
Right.
That's an Elseworld story, but it's still Zdarsky understands
the
Martian Manhunter,
what he brings. Yeah.
And when Batman's not there, Martian is that failsafe.
Yep.
100%. You know, and I think that he does get over. His role does get overshadowed because, like, okay, you need to give someone a job. Who are you gonna pick, Batman or Martian Manhunter? Sales are 99% of the time is gonna say Batman. But
Batman, yeah, and it's messed up because he is like he's better, but he's like an amalgamation. He's got the smarts and tactfulness of Batman, but he's on par with Superman in terms of strength. You know, like
the
man's
he's a shapeshifter.
Yeah, shapeshifter.
Right. And also something that he has that Batman doesn't is connections to off-world places.
Yep.
Right? Batman isn't really good at having connections because Batman kind of makes them and spies on people. That's really what he does. He's like that kind of over-the-shoulder person that's like always there. Even when they're not there, they're there. Right? Kind of like Fable. But kind of like Fable.
A legendary tale.
A legendary
Fable.
A Fable.
Station Fable.
Station Fable. Fable's a book. Yes, that one.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you do remove Batman from a Justice League team, you can have so much potential there.
Yeah, the way more exciting story potential for the team to really gel as a team instead of just relying on Batman to be the crux that saves the day most of the time.
All right, Link. So how does the story start?
I'm a big fan of this. I feel like a team like this, you kind of want people to, with some of the additions you would want to warm up. Like it's not just like you chose them over Superman. Maybe there was a story I remember reading during JLA, the Joe run. It was like 60 to like 90 maybe or 80 something. But in this particular one, the main Justice League team was taken off the map. They were trapped in some other dimension and world was going crazy, right? So Batman had set up this fail-safe initiative, a plan that recruit if something ever happened to the team, what he thought would be the best villains until they came back, if they came back.
Right, that was part of the Morrison run.
Yeah, yep. During that JLA, yep. I kind of would want something like that to happen because I feel like if you were to just have a open team membership and somehow Booster Gold and Blue Beetle made it on the team before Superman, I feel like there would be a lot of people calling BS.
I kind of like how that's a way to involve Batman like very loosely. You know, and are we pitching this in today's continuity?
Yes. I mean, if it works best, but yeah, that's
if it works best to kind of make this into today's continuity, right? You have Nightwing taking up a huge leadership role right now in his story and kind of crossing over into Superman and Sonic Kal-El, right? So I think that would just be perfect way to kind of grow his character, get more eyes on him, right? Because if you're not reading the Nightwing book, I guarantee you're not going to start. No matter how many times people throw it down your throat, it's like reading Daredevil. It's like something that like you ignore, and it's like, oh yeah, it's just Daredevil. Or like, it's just Nightwing, no one cares. But if Nightwing has his own little niche fan base, this will like get him more spotlight. And this will be a great way to involve Kyle Rayner, Martian Manhunter, who's kind of been AWOL. Another character that freaking DC just loves just dropping off the map whenever they see fit. Booster Gold and Blue Beetle. I could see this being a segue. Their miniseries ending, kind of getting them into the Justice League team because they are on issue 3, issue 4 now. Yeah, they're going to be on issue 4, so they're over halfway through. And then Wonder Woman is back on Earth, right?
Is she?
She's back from her little time traveling.
Okay.
So I could see that being her way to getting back involved into the everyday life of the Justice League.
Yep.
You know, the Watchtower has not really been used in quite a bit because, well, it's being used in the Bendis run. But if we were to completely erase that team because it hasn't sold, even though we just did a Bendis episode, go check that out from last week. If we were to redo that team and say, hey, Naomi, take your shit and go to your own series where you belong, let's bring this team in. That's no shade on Naomi. That's no shade on Naomi.
Yeah, she's a great character.
I would prefer all of this to take place in her own book in a season 2 because that's where it belongs. You can still have Batman kind of talking to her parents. You can still have her being that little saucy teenager, but there's no reason why a 17-year-old new character should be the big spotlight.
On the Justice League.
Not on the Justice League, but taking place before so many characters and taking the spotlight from characters that should be on the spotlight.
That's the thing is, Bendis wants to write Naomi, but a solo Naomi book,
and he also wants to. It's like his Justice League is. Let me bring in some concepts from Naomi. Let me bring in some stuff from Superman and stuff from Checkmate, and also some stuff from Legion because I don't know when that's coming back. That's
is that supposed on hiatus?
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Like, there's been no news on it lately. Like, people are like, oh yeah, he's like dropping stuff like Legion can come back, but his whole point of Legion was to age up John.
Which he did,
but now John's doing his own thing. So what are you gonna do with Legion? But anyway, that's beside the point. Let's say Naomi went into her own season, and that basically destroys the Justice League book in a nutshell. Mark, I know you'll argue that, but you're probably not watching, so that's okay. But yeah, I could totally see that kind of being their bond. Batman goes abroad as he usually does, doesn't really have time, and puts together this little team of the Justice League, and this could be Dick Grayson's first time really going cosmic.
Now, well, see, I do like the fact that I think it was the Snyder's run where they were using both the Hall of Justice and the Watchtower.
Yeah,
I like the idea of that. I don't think I read too much, so I don't know if they fully utilized it. But was one kind of left behind? Like, did they actually use Tower a lot, or were they mostly in the Hall of Justice and it was just like the option of the Watchtower's there?
Once Perpetua came, they were usually the Watchtower.
Okay.
I like the
idea of that. My bad, go on.
When shit hit the fan, they went to the Watchtower because that's essentially where Lex Luthor went.
Okay. I like the Watchtower. I know the Hall of Justice is classic. I feel like that should be almost like just on Earth whenever they're doing something or they need to meet up. That's like their little quarters, but their main is the Watchtower. I feel like that's how they would get to different points of the world quickest, stuff like that.
Right. And I think that'd be a great way to grow Dick Grayson's character. And I honestly think a great big bad for this, not really like a big bad, but like, you know how Brainiac kind of revolutionizes himself?
Yeah.
I could totally see Brainiac coming in here because Brainiac is primarily a Superman villain, right? We haven't really seen Brainiac since Legion of Doom. So I could totally see like kind of Brainiac bringing back his little army.
And that'd be cool. Like
kind of as like a newer version of himself.
Yeah.
Rather.
Yeah.
Because he was like a very simplified, dumbed down version, so he didn't overpower what Lex Luthor was trying to do. But in certain iterations of Brainiac, he's actually done more damage than Lex Luthor has. So I would like to see that kind of Brainiac come in and kind of throw a little bit of a curveball because, again, Superman's not here, Batman's not there, so it makes it a little bit more realistic. I think some of the problems that Justice League books come into, especially with that Superman-Batman relationship, isn't there's no one stronger.
No,
other than Darkseid and I would say Perpetua and maybe the Batman Who Laughs.
But it's like those are universe shattering event types. They can't always have them occurring.
Right. Or whoever's sitting on the Mobius chair at that time when they want to go rogue, or if Metron ever decided, hey, I want to be a jackass today.
It happened. It would no, it could happen. Yeah.
It could happen. That'd be a cool story. Hey, Metron woke up one day. He woke up like this, sat on the Mobius chair and decided to take over the world. That'd be kind of cool.
Like, I'm tired of this. I've changed plans.
Bullshit, living in my brother's shadows. Fuck this. But I kind of like the idea of Brainiac. I think that would bring in a lot of good personalities, a lot of good perspectives, and it would give Martian Manhunter kind of a way to figure something out.
To use his wits, because he's smart. Yeah, I like that. He would. Brainiac, I like that. I don't really think I could say anyone to top that, but I like it because he's someone that could hit them on all fronts. Like they'd have to, wouldn't just be brute force or overwhelming numbers. Right. It'd be him attacking maybe technology, the the world's digital infrastructure or something.
Probably like even take over Cyborg and turn Cyborg against the team. That would be
exactly.
How badass would that be to have like kind of one arc building up to Brainiac taking over Cyborg, and that just leading into the next big event, which is freaking Brainiac. After you defeat it, you defeat Cyborg. That would be insane. Yeah. The ramifications that would happen.
Right.
And Ted Kord, who's a big tech dude, trying to work around that with Martian. That would just be insane, man.
Yeah. The odds will be stacked against them. And it's not like they're a strong team. But they don't have those two, like Superman, you always know, maybe save the day. Batman, you always know he's got a plan. They don't have those two. They have some, proven themselves, especially Wonder Woman. But I just feel like without the big two, it's a big three, but without the Boy Scout and the Dark Knight, you
bring a new dynamic. You bring something new. You bring a new challenge to this universe. And I think DC has been very afraid in the past to take those risks. The biggest risk they've taken with that is when Superman died and was not in the regular JLA book, and they had to use Steel.
But he came back just as quick.
Oh, but he came back quick because everyone bitched and complained about it.
And look at Meltzer's Justice League. He didn't.
Red Tornado, character study.
Yeah.
Red Tornado.
Yeah, Red Tornado, Vixen. And it wasn't, he didn't. You can tell it's almost like these writers are forced to put in Batman and Superman because DC has it's a, what do you want to call it?
It's a brand.
Yeah, they have to include that. That's part of that in order for it to sell.
Right. The Trinity is the brand of DC, right?
Yeah, it is.
If you look at how many books right now are on the shelves between the Trinity, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, it's almost there with their other amount of titles.
Yeah, I agree.
So like I think right, even if you have Wonder Woman in there, who's the most underrated person of the Trinity, I still think that she'd be. Look at what she did in Justice League Dark, right? That was freaking badass. Imagine just her kind of taking that same mindset, but over here into this Justice League team, right? That would just be fantastic.
Yeah,
kind of like a tech sci-fi story. Now, who would you like to see writing this or drawing this? I'll play off the other one.
Okay.
Because I know who I know who I want to draw.
Then I'll think of the writer. Who do I think would give us a good Justice League story?
I'll throw out the artists first, kind of to get your head spinning. I would love to see. I know we just did it, but I'd love to see Francis Manapul and Brian Hitch freaking tackle this shit.
Interesting choices. The contrast. One's very fantasy, and the other is very uber realistic. That's interesting.
Brian Hitch in the ground level, and Francis Manapul would draw the sci-fi stories.
Okay.
That's how I would do it.
All right.
I'll take it. I'm with it.
Yeah, I would give that a shot. I'm curious enough to see how that would play out. Writing wise, I feel like Justice League is a book. Of course, it's got to be about the superhero. You need someone who's got high concept ideas.
To pull this shit off.
To really. I know. I want to say, just based on what I've seen, I feel what they're capable of. More like Ram V.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
I know, because Ram has stated many times that he really doesn't have the knowledge of the superheroes that he does of the Vertigo titles.
Right.
I could see Garth Ennis coming back to DC and doing this shit, or like kind of doing this.
Ennis.
I could see Garth Ennis kind of doing some fucking shit like that with Cyborg. Right? I'm trying to think of like who can make Brainiac and Cyborg.
But Garth Ennis hates capes, though.
I know he hates capes. I just
Justice League is almost like the most the biggest cape book there is. That's why I kind of would. I mean, that could be interesting if he. I wouldn't want him to come in and just fuck up Justice League because he doesn't like capes.
I mean, Cyborg doesn't wear a cape. I don't think we picked any of these characters that wear a cape.
That's true, but I'm just
the
tights. Yeah, hers is a cloak. She takes off, but he doesn't like the spandex.
I would say Mark Waid because he's gonna be coming back to DC, but I also don't want to throw that on him. I would like to see Ed Brubaker. I think Ed Brubaker would write a good story like this.
I was kind of mixed on his Secret Avengers.
Or Chip Zdarsky.
I like that. Chip's proven himself. He's someone that can handle high concept ideas while still hitting character beats.
Yeah, make his Justice League Last Ride a freaking ongoing, and you literally have the same pitch, same concept almost. Yeah. Except you're not shipping Lobo across the universe, hiding from Darkseid, playing hide and seek.
Lobo would be a good pick, but he just wouldn't fit Justice League.
No.
But I'd like him on the team dynamic.
But his Zdarsky's Justice League Last Ride is basically hide and go seek between Darkseid and Lobo.
Yeah. That's a good summary. Now for Brian Hitch and France, would it just be issue by issue, or would it be segments? Like when we show
I would say Hitch would do the first segment because it'd be like kind of more on the groundwork, dealing with the whole Cyborg kind of going rogue, getting taken over because you don't know who it is, right? And like they kind of discover that it is Brainiac, and then that leads them to go into the Watchtower, into space, kind of going on the offensive that way. And that's where I think Manapul would come in, simply because of how he can draw. You've seen him draw the Watchtower; it's fantastic. I've seen him.
Yeah,
I've seen him really capture sci-fi concepts, and I know Alex Sinclair has colored both of them, and his colors in DC is just unmatched. It is probably the greatest coloring of the modern age. Inker, probably Joe Prado. Sandra Hope, I would love to see come back and ink him.
Okay. Good choices.
So I think that would be my creative team.
I like that. Art-wise, who? Even though I don't see him doing anything DC because he hasn't in a minute, I'd like to see Stuart Immonen draw Justice League.
I would love to see Stuart Immonen. Immonen or Immonen?
Immonen. I can't pronounce. Sorry, but you guys' names.
Stuart Immonen. I like Stuart Immonen. For a second, I thought you were going to say Cameron Stewart, and I was going to end the show, but Stuart Immonen did Plunge, but I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what else he's up to right now. But I'd love.
I know he's doing Magic Order 2, Volume 2 with Mark Millar, which the first arc of that was done by Oliver Coipel.
Coipel.
Yeah, Coipel. Yeah. He's got a very bright and action look. Like it's
I can rock with it. With it. So we have Chip Zdarsky on the story. We have Stuart Immonen on the artwork. Alex Sinclair colors.
I like that. Yeah.
I am with that. Guys, this was a lot of fun. Comment your team in the comments below. Did you guys like our team? What would you change? What would be your Justice League team if you could choose it from scratch? Doesn't have
really
to be
do want to know.
I want to know. I want to know how many people put Batman and come at us for Batman. I want to see how many down we get for not putting Batman in here. But if you did agree with this team or you do like the video, make sure you guys give it a thumbs up. Thank you guys so much. Everything going on. Quick announcements coming up on the channel. We have Creators Corner is going to be what it is. You can follow me on Instagram, ComixKings, so I can drop it. That's where you're going to get first drip over there. Follow Missing Link on Instagram as well. Other than that, we have weekly wrap up, which is every Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern time, where Bryce, Hillbilly Comics, and I, we talk about all the weekly books. Sometimes have a creator on. You never know. And then this is every Wednesday. You guys know what we do here. Thursday, this Thursday, I'm going to be on with Robbie, Pop Culture Philosophers, over on his channel, kicking it with him. So it's going to be a fun show.
Yeah, that's going to be
It's going to be a really fun show. So I can't wait to talk about stuff with Robbie. I don't know what he's going to be throwing at me, but I will be ready for that. You best believe I will be ready for that station. And then what else I have going on? I'm going to be over on Aegis with Alaska on Saturday, and the PCP Army Bad Batch will be over on Spine Takes with them over there at 11 Eastern. So you guys are going to be following it over there. All the links to all of that is in the description below. And what else do we have coming out? We have archives dropping every Friday. So we're going to be dropping Young Avengers, which is led by our favorite person, Missing Link. So you're going to be seeing a lot more of Link on the channel. You're going to see me, Link, Bryce, Michael, right?
Yep.
Get used to it, guys. Get used to it because we're coming at you guys in full throttle. And then Late Nights with B is another kind of weird segment that got put together last minute, but I think it's here to stay and here to last for a while. So I have no idea when that's coming out, but I'm sure I'll let you know. Yeah, it was like it got great reception. I was like,
it was a great show, Doug. You did that on such last notice.
I was like, it was literally a show that I put together in 2 hours and said, "Hey guys, can we talk about horror comics?" Everyone's like, "What's a horror comic?" I'm like, "I don't know. We just talk.
We'll figure it out. Yeah,
we'll figure it out.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there."
Yeah, and I was like, it was a great show. You know, we had a kick ass panel, and I had a great time doing it. It drove a great conversation. A lot of people in the chat. Yes. So big shout out to you guys who were there. So just stay tuned, you guys. We're always dropping content over here, something for everybody. So if you're not watching one video, I guarantee you there's 2 or 3 that you are going to enjoy.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys for checking out this episode of Whiplash Wednesday. We're going to go watch Nick over at Comic Culture at 5 o'clock, and then we're going to go watch Big Herm. So travel with us. Safe travels. Station, everybody.
Station.